Hey guys, how's everybody doing today? All right, good to see you.
Hey Tracy, how are you doing?
I'm better today.
Can you talk about getting back here at CMA Fest, playing on the big stage with your big group of fans?
I'm very excited about it tonight. This is the first time, I'm not sure, it's been 4 or 5 years since I've got to do the big stage, so it's very exciting. I can feel the energy in town kind of rising up through the day, so it's going to be fun tonight. PA sounds great. Sound check was amazing today, so I'm ready to go.
Glad to be back.
Thank you.
Tracy, can you kind of explain what happened with the allergic reaction?
Yeah, you know, I'm not sure what triggered it, but I was about 30 minutes away from doing my performance for my fan club party yesterday, and I was visiting with a policeman buddy of mine. We were sitting there. I mean, he had no more walked out of the bus. And in the next 30 seconds, my face started tingling, and I got up and looked in the mirror, and my lips had swelled up, and my tongue swelled up in my mouth. My wife is a nurse, and she told me when she came in the bus, she looked at me and freaked out. She said I was going into anaphylactic shock. So it was either a food allergy, something with my medication that I take. I'm getting old, so I'm on blood pressure and cholesterol medicine, all that stuff. Don't laugh, you know. But I don't really know. So even the paramedics and guys they gave me a lot of paperwork when I left and said 95% of the time when this happens, they never really know the true cause of what happened. But they kept me in the emergency room for several hours. Thought I was going to wind up staying through the night, but they let me go about 7 o'clock last night, so it was good to go home, sleep in my bed. And I'm still not 100%. I'm still a little short of breath, but I was determined to be here tonight. So I'm glad I'm still above ground, to tell you the truth. Yeah.
Hey Tracy.
Hello. Hey Becca.
How are you? You have a new album coming out in August,
Mm-hmm.
and I've heard you say that it's edgier and it's pushing you as an artist, and it's something you wish you could maybe done a little more in the 90s. Can you talk about what's in store for this project and what it means by edgier?
You know, obviously, we all are very aware that country music has changed a lot in the last 5 or 10 years. And, you know, from my era, when, you know, in the early 90s, we as young country artists, we were on that cutting edge when things were so different and we were pushing the envelope back then. And actually had the reins pulled back on me several times in the early 90s because I was wanting to go a little bit further than we were actually allowed. But this new album, it started off about 2.5 years ago. In my original concept, I was being hard-headed. I'm going to make a traditional country record. I'm going to write everything on this album for the first time, and I cut 5 or 6 songs and really felt like I knew exactly where I was going. I was pleased with all of it. It had a cool waltz on it. It had some good kind of road ballads and things. It was really cool. And my wife and I went to see Kenny Rogers at the Skirmerhorn that following January, and he and I visited after the show for about 30 minutes or so, and he was telling me that he felt it was very important over his career to reinvent himself several times, all the different phases that he had gone through. And I left there really thinking about where I needed to go as an artist and decided that it was time to step up and push the envelope a little bit and try to get a little bit more contemporary and to challenge myself vocally as an artist. So I started looking for things that were very different from the first section of songs that I cut, more dynamic, more rangy. I really wanted to push myself to challenge me, to see where I could really take it and to try to get into the groove with a lot of the stuff that's happening out there. So that being said, I cut some stuff called Blacktop. The new single is called Footprints on the Moon, that was motivated by Drops from Jupiter from Train. So this album is going to be different than anything you've ever heard from me before.
Not only has your music changed, but obviously this event has changed. Can you just talk about how CMA Music Fest has grown from what it used to be at Fanfare in the 90s, the fact that you're about to walk out and sing for 6 hours?
You know, if I can put it into as small a statement as possible, you know, back in the day, it had a kind of a quaint charm to it. You know, it was at the fairgrounds. We all had a great time with it. It was a little bit hillbillyer and hokier and all that stuff. This has turned into a citywide marquee event for Nashville as a city. It's something where you come here as a fan, there's music going on all over town. The nightly events here at LP Field are obviously the pinnacle of the day for everyone. I think the city has done a great job. Obviously, the new convention center is going to blow people away. They've done a great job providing more hotels and bringing all those things in, the infrastructure, and making it where people have the accommodations that they need to handle a mass of 100 and something thousand people. I think the city's done a great job. So it's grown to a place that I don't think any of us could have fathomed 20 years ago where it would be today.
I would just like to say that we love your music in Scotland, and I just wondered if you ever plan to make a trip.
I would love to come to Scotland. Invite me. Call my booking agency. Bobby Roberts, call my booking agency. I'd love to come to Scotland. Scotland and Ireland are definitely on the list. I had the opportunity to go to Australia last year and absolutely loved it. So there's still some places that I want to go, and I want to go play the original golf course in Scotland. So that's definitely on the bucket list.
Last question?
I hate to beat this again. Do you remember, Tracy, what you were eating when you went into Galactic?
I had breakfast that morning. I mean, just basic eggs and bacon. So I'm not sure what it was. The only thing that my wife and I talked about that could have been different, I had a CAT scan done last week. I'd found a bump under my arm, and it's fine. It was no big thing, but they did the dye through me, so it could have possibly been something that reacted to it that could have been still in my system, because I've never had anything like that happen to me in my life. But I've had allergies my whole life, so I don't really know.
Okay, we're going to take photos real quick.